Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instruction on completing the task at hand. Visit my YouTube channel and watch my disclaimer video. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you find the information you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, I decided to do a video or attempt to do a video on replacing the heater core on a 2000 S80. I don't know how far these cores run like this in this model, but I went on ahead and pulled it out and put it back in. Now I did have an issue getting the core out because this core, and I don't know if they corrected that in newer models, but this core had a hard time getting past the part of the steering column assembly. So I went under the dash, I took a panel off from under the dash, took a side panel off. I could easily see the heater core. I think it had two T20 screws in it. I pulled them out. I pulled two clips out of the core lines with a screwdriver and a crescent wrench. I tapped them out, and then I had to remove the brake switch because it was in the way of getting the core out. Once I got that brake clip switch out of the way, be careful not to break it, I slid the core out, I pushed the lines back, and then I had to pivot the core down toward the floor and push the top of it toward the firewall to get it past that steering column. I had to pull it, put a little force on it. It did rub the bottom of the core. I don't know if, I don't think it did any damage to it, but going back in, you'll have to do the same thing. So you need to decide whether or not you want to stress the core by pulling it out or putting a new one in, going past that steering column. I just didn't see any other way of getting it out short of taking a whole bunch of the center console stuff out. It just, I think it'll work this way. The entire job worked from the driver's side. Like I said, you need a T20, pair of needle nose pliers, flat tip screwdriver, maybe a crescent wrench, and you should be able to get it out. Also get your plastic bag to catch any coolant that'll come out of those lines after you disconnect the lines from the core. Okay, I'm going to try to get at the heater core on this Volvo S80. And the first thing I'm going to do is come down here and take these couple screws out to get this lower trim panel loose by your footwell. Next thing I'm going to do is work this trim out that goes along the center console. See how that comes loose? To get this trim piece loose, you need to move the seat back as far as you can and release that tab on the back side of it. And then you want to slide the trim back about a ½ inch and lift it off. If you just start pulling on it, you're going to break it like I did on this one. Best way to get that out is get a coin down in there, stick it in there, and turn it a ½ turn counterclockwise. As soon as I turned that clip with the coin, the trim fell right out of place. There's the heater core there. Next, I'm going to take those two screws out. They look like T20s. Once you got those two screws out, you want to pull the core out toward the driver's side a little bit so you can have room to work those clips off of the pipes. Okay, you want to put your plastic bag or something under here to catch the fluid that's going to drip once you pull the pipe loose. Once you get the first clip out, go ahead and pull the pipe loose. That way you can have access to that back clip up there. Then pull that back clip out and pull that pipe loose. If you're not strong enough to pull the clips out with pliers, find something to wedge them out with. What I ended up doing was putting a screwdriver on them and tapping them out with a crescent wrench. But you got to watch it because when they pop out, they fly, and you got to find them so you can straighten them back out and put them in unless you get a new set with a new core. I'm not sure. Now that you got the core loose, you can move the pipes toward the firewall to get the core past them, but you're not going to get the core out with that brake switch in the way. So you need to take that brake switch out of the bracket. Be careful with it so you don't break it. I'm going to unplug it first. And now I'm going to take it out of the bracket so I don't break it getting the core out. Alright, to get the brake switch out without breaking it, you got to release here and the release on the other side, and then you pull it straight out. So you got to hit these two releases, one on one side, one on the other, because they clip it into that metal bracket. If you don't do that, you're probably going to break it getting it out. Now that your brake switch is out of the way and your coolant lines are pushed a little bit toward the firewall, you should be able to slide that heater core out and get the new one fitted in. Let me see what it's hitting now. Okay, I did get the core out. When I was pulling it out, this part of the core here hit the steering column brackets. I actually thought I was going to have to pull something loose on that steering column, but I didn't. So when you're pulling it out, push the front of the core toward the firewall some, and then pull it down, and you'll get it to slide out of this hole here. But you will be putting some pressure on this lower part of the plastic there, and it did, rub my core and bend my core a little bit. So you got to decide if you want to put that stress on your core when coming in and out with it. So let me try to slide it back in, see if I could get it in without doing as much stress as I did getting it out. Okay, assuming I have a new core here, I'm going to put the foam around it like was on the one that I took out. I'm going to put the bottom of the core in and try to get it started, working the top of it in. Let me see where I am. Okay, I had two minor issues with putting the core back in. I guess they're minor. One was pushing this top hose back far enough to get the core past it, and two was clearing this part of the steering assembly bracket. So I did have to put some pressure on the bottom of this box, sliding that back in. I don't think it would damage the core to make it leak, but it definitely put some stress on it. And you have to decide whether or not you want to do it yourself and stress the bottom of the core and getting it back in the box. So after that, put your seals on the end of the hoses, put the hoses back in place, put the clips in them, put the two screws on them, put this side panel on the center console, then put your lower panel on under your dash. If you feel that this information was beneficial, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can also subscribe to my channel so that you can get notification of future videos that I post. Visit my channel. I have all types of do-it-yourself videos there. You can leave questions here and I'll try to respond to them as quick as possible. You can also visit my website at robertspinner.com. Thanks again for watching.